6 o'clock, I will call the meeting to order. Oh, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You've got the roll.
Yes, sir.
And we move on to approval of tonight's agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That works for me.
That
I can
good?
hear it. Yep.
We're good?
Yep.
Okay.
Unless there's certain things you want specific roll on, I think we'll be fine.
All right, to the consent agenda. All items will be passed by one motion unless there's something someone wants to pull out. I have 2 items. W and Q. So I would move to approve the consent agenda minus those 2.
You're making the first motion, Matt?
Yes, I need a second. Or, does.
I'll second.
Before you call for a vote, I just have one comment on the income statements in general. They also, all their expenditures that are included also include December 21 until my audit is done, and I back those out because the bill batch was paid in January after the last month's meeting. So it makes all of those special revenue funds look way overspent already for 22, so they're not true. I will make amended income statements once that's done.
Very good.
Okay.
To the vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none.
Don, do you have a vote?
Aye.
Okay.
Item Q. For the lawful gambling rent. What happened?
On that one, that's a year end, so that's exactly what I asked, them. I'm like, so when we put those boxes in.
Yep.
They made no adjustments up or down or anything, because they weren't sure how that procedure went and how to do it. So this is all years, anything that's happened, adjustments
For any closeout for their year.
for the year.
For the year.
Yeah, so it's a cumulative number. there was one significant ticket that was missing from I guess the paper part of it was not there. Was paid out. We've kind of changed how, because of the remodel. Previously you take it and you bring it to the office. So the office was 2 steps away. They come and get it, take it. Right now, we're giving, each box has its own individual envelope. It goes from there, from your hand into the envelope in its entirety goes to the fire hall.
Okay.
So to try to keep that, you know, not throwing anybody under the bus, but try to keep the procedure as clean as possible. But yeah, that's what I asked, was Adam, what's going on?
All right. And my other question was, on the new hire. So,
Can we back up for a second?
oh, sure.
What was the discrepancy?
The law.
So there was a big loss? I don't see something.
Cash short would be
Here,
That's what I got up here.
right.
Yes, there was,
$517.
So in all of my jobs and all the stuff I've been around and, you know, and all this stuff, couldn't they count out the winning tickets right there at? So the stuff doesn't leave, I mean, couldn't.
I know what you're
this-
saying,
couldn't-
that they could have the games audited at the same site.
Or so it's like an evidence trail. So you don't lose your evidence, like, you know, or whatever, so you guys either go there,
Right.
count out tickets, or they come to you.
Right.
You the
Well,
tickets.
and the thing is when it's the state of Minnesota, the negative doesn't even have to be, it can be errors. Okay, so when you cross off something and it's already still there, that's counted as an error. And they have to track that specifically, and they have to, yeah, even if the money is all right, if the ticket, the physical ticket, even if it's been paid out, done right, is gone, that has to be counted as a loss.
And typically there's errors every year.
Yeah, I mean, we've struggled with that.
That's why we got the machine.
That's why we got the machines. Yep, we struggled with that.
But the machines have made it a lot easier
And have made a difference. for
as
sure.
far as shortages. We've been able to minimize that a lot better.
Minimize human error.
Yes.
There's still people involved though, so,
But not as,
right.
okay, everybody good?
Yeah.
So far as the new hire goes, I was just wondering, we going to run this through the personnel committee? Or did it need to be, or why it wasn't, or?
Well, you have one counselor that's sitting on the golf board that's on the personnel committee. And prior to the whole position even being provided to or offered to a candidate, that communication was done back in December when the process was done with the personnel committee. So they were aware that there was that process happening.
you got a better candidate.
Okay, so, then I would move to pass items W and Q on the consent agenda. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Counselor?
Aye.
Very good. All right. It's time. Blackduck Forum. Anybody that wants to speak? I'm guessing that's you.
I don't have much to say, I just listen.
Okay.
I pass enough an opportunity here, or I should be thankful.
Where you could, I'll give you, it says 3 minutes, Phil, but
I would like to have, because of my experience, I have a fair amount of questions. And most of them unanswered as far as the new city garage, which I am 100% in favor of. But some of the figures seem ridiculous. I would like to know where the funding for that is coming from. More so than a hearsay type perspective.
okay. The bulk of the funding is coming from the USDA as a bond.
Isn't that usually cheese and milk? Thanks.
To a degree.
Okay, just throwing that out there.
And I know you've got the bids. So if your question is, how are we paying for it? The idea here is not as a giant tax increase for people. It's we have bonds that are sunsetting. We will be selling a new bond. So that's kind of one in, one out, sort of. And the remainder is a $300,000 equipment bond that we will qualify for. Now that gets us down to the last, what, 100,000 between the,
When you say equipment, does that mean that we're looking at purchase of some new equipment?
No,
then?
Equipment
all that means
for-
is how it's classified to the USDA and how we can borrow the funding. So that's just what they call it.
it's called an equipment bond, but it would be for the inside structures of, like the,
It's
Wash
additional
bay.
funding. Simple. It's just on top of what has already been authorized from the same funding source.
On a different note, but the same note, because I'm here representing Bill Path. The pond, entity was what, a $650,000 investment and ended up being, how much?
$650,000 investment.
What was it by the time it was all said and done?
There were a couple of overages that were already covered by the pond's revenue sources. There was nothing in your property taxes that covered that.
Okay, so what it ended up being what?
Less than 700.
So what you're telling me is over the next 10 years, my taxes are not gonna go up, my water utilities are not going to go up. Other than the 7% inflation rate that is going on right now. I have no reason to be concerned about the pond overages or the maintenance department affecting my tax.
I don't have a crystal ball, Phil. All I can do is provide to
You're
the,
the one doing the numbers.
I understand that. I've provided all the numbers to the council. And I
Okay, so
spoke for
then-
an hour. Let me finish. I spoke for an hour at the last work session and provided this board all of the opportunities and all of the numbers for them to consider tonight.
So you're telling me I missed the opportunity by a week?
It's recorded on our YouTube channel if you want to watch it. I'm not prepared to go through that exact same presentation tonight.
I would rather get it in black and white, photocopied from you so I can sit down and process it. What day would you like me to pick that up?
I'm not going to comment on that tonight. I'm not prepared to provide that information for you right now.
Well, I understand you're not going to do it to me tonight. What day would you like me to pick it up?
How about we communicate after tonight's meeting so I can
I would.
provide to you the right information?
Due to your hostility of the last time I asked you for papers, I would just as soon ask you for the papers. You tell me what day you would like me to pick them up, and I will do so very promptly and without discretion.
Depending on what you want and what detail you're looking for, a week. And
I have a week.
I take offense to your comment because there was no hostility when you came in here asking for the bids. I promptly copied it and provided it to you.
You did promptly do that with the same raised eyebrows that you have this particular.
That's your perception. That is not a reality.
Okay. We're not doing a personal thing here, okay?
Perfect.
Yep. Just saying, we're gonna have to stop. there.
Don't like anybody passing judgment on me.
Neither do I.
Okay. So your questions will be answered then, Phil?
Perfect.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mike, on to you.
On to me, huh?
How's campfires?
What's that?
How's campfires?
You know, a whole lot of moving snow. Had a broken main on 3rd Street Southeast last week. A clean break and 4-inch cast iron pipe. Able to get the ground thawed, get it dug up, get that repaired. There's another leak, we'll call it, up at Serenity Living on what we believe is the line that used to feed the old building before it burned down. My best guess with my experience and the other guys too, what happened is when that building burnt and they put the new building up, they ran new water, new sewer, they ran it from the north down to the building. It was a shorter run. It used to run out the east side of the building and go all the way to 4th Street. Well, when they disconnected, essentially what they did, my guess is they turned the curb stop off, and that curb stop actually happened to be right up by the building. So what they did is they turned the curb stop off, they dug down about 2 feet, maybe, cut the top of the pipe, laid a little bit of gravel in, and then paved over it. My guess is what happened, you know, they're obviously plowing that parking lot to park there. The frost got a hold of what was left of the pipe, pushed it down and sheared it or cracked it just enough that there is water moving through there. Their parking lot is heaved in one spot. That is their line, their responsibility. I've spoken with I don't know if he's the manager or the maintenance, the head maintenance guy. He's kind of the guy in charge around there that I know anyways. I've spoken to him at great length, and he is having Kyle Fusine come in. He'll be here tomorrow to cut into that parking lot, dig, see if we can find out exactly what the problem is, what happened. We'll have to be on hand. We'll have to shut the main down to all of 4th Street over there for this repair. Hopefully you can just get down to the curb stop. Whether it's broke, whatever it is, we'll get it capped, get it plugged somehow, and that'll take care of that problem. Other than that stuff, business as usual. You guys have seen us moving snow all over the place, pushing snow back, trying to make more room for the rest of it to come this winter. We did finally, I don't know if you guys have known, I think we talked about it at one point. We ordered some parts about a year ago, might even have been just a hair over a year ago, for some water meters in town. And best guess, they've been floating around out in the ocean forever. Well, they finally showed up today, so that made me pretty happy. We can get some of these, they're bigger meters, and what the problem is, the inner working of it, the way the meter reading is set up for the radio read, these meters have an internal battery, and for whatever reason, somebody decided to make that non-changeable. You have to replace the entire head on the meter, which involves shutting the water down and all that, but it's on our 3-inch and larger meters. So right now we've been having to go into close to a dozen businesses every month and manually get the reading. So finally we can get those fixed and get back on track with all that stuff.
All for a battery.
Yep, all for a cheap little battery. That's about all I really have for you guys. Anything for me from anybody?
You leaving?
No.
You ready for the speech?
You be quiet. We're not gonna talk about it.
That's the best.
Anything else for Mike? Bobby Joe?
Nope.
Okay.
Thanks, Ed.
Actually, I do got one thing.
Okay.
Our second cruiser, we ever figured out that thing's done, or police car?
It's been sitting in my,
Oh, you did get it back?
it's been sitting in my old garage for months. Just sitting there. They haven't needed it, so it's just over there. Yes, I guess. A couple months ago, whenever it was, yeah, we got it figured out.
Yeah.
I'm Shonda.
We had we had a significant sales increase for our January sales, so that was good. We have also been struggling like with people getting sick, so that's been kind of a challenge. We've got some chamber bingo coming up in February and a little Super Bowl party, so we're excited about those Sunday events. Try to get some. February generally cools off quite a bit. As the lakes get more snow and nobody wants to go on them because it's so slushy. Yeah, we see a traffic slowdown in February, but hoping that's just a temporary short time, and we get spring and we get happening, it comes out. And then
And of course, I see the Super Bowl. Are we doing drawings and stuff this year?
yeah, we'll do drawings. We're not gonna do like the TV giveaway and all that. We're just gonna do, fun drawings and have nacho special and some beer specials and that kind of thing.
Anybody got anything for Paul?
Nope.
We will move on to the first of many future reports
Not sure how this happened.
that we will get from Misty. Enzo.
I guess I kind of hit the ground running a little bit more behind the scenes, obviously. I did go down and tour with Christina, took a peek at it, obviously looked at it in a whole different way than I normally look at it. And I just been working on, like, her and I had talked about possibility of getting a new point of sale system. So it's kind of the old school register. So I've been just doing some looking at that. There's about a million different places to look, and I have 2 appointments tomorrow. They're gonna give me a demo. Caddy Club was one. I have it all written down. Gosh, though, and it's Caddy Club and one other one, 4Up. So they have software programs that are specifically to the golf. So with the software program, just the software program, I'd have to buy my own hardware, so I'd have to get a computer, a new cash box, a new receipt printer, that kind of a thing, and then I just download the software and it runs the point of sale system through that whole thing, plus if you can do online tee times and things like that. I'm a little bit worried because most of them come with a monthly fee. And obviously, we don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to some of that stuff. So I need to just do a lot of my homework and just kind of look at it. Otherwise, you can just go with the standard point of sale system without the actual golf software, if that's cheaper. And then I was thinking possibly keeping it so that it was compatible, so I could add software later if things get rolling and it gets to be the times where everybody wants to put their tee times, online with their phones and things like that. That's maybe a software program we can add to it. So I'm just weighing out some things and working on that basically. So I called all the staff. Pretty much everybody. I haven't called Pam yet. I know you had talked to her. Melissa's calling me back. I talked to her a little bit, but she's calling back. But I've called all the staff and so far things are, there's a few questions there, but it doesn't seem like everyone's super opposed about coming back yet. So keep my fingers crossed.
Because, we had rumors that everybody at the golf course was fired. And I was just wanting to put that to bed.
Yeah, and I did put that to bed because I called them all. Yeah.
You called Jim? No, wait a second. Wait. Who's the golf director?
We talked about it. I just felt like it would be better for her to call and introduce him to who the new golf director is going to be. And then after that's been done, and then I'll hop right on. And because I'd like to get together with him right away and kind of start putting some ideas together. So I just think it'd be better for her to call and just gently say on somebody.
Yeah.
So other than that, yeah, I've been super busy. Just doing all kinds of crazy research and lots to do.
So start.
Yeah. The early bird thing has started, the early bird registration. And I want to make sure that I was clear. That's open to everybody, right? That's not just for members.
That's correct.
Okay. So that's something I should put on the website.
Yes.
Okay.
So as I was driving up here today, and as I was driving down the streets for that conference, I'm looking at all the golf courses, everything. I'm looking at signs and everything. And right before you get to Mount Leaders Golf Course, and they go, they have online tee times. And I'm like, hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting all these ideas in my head, to help you out.
And yeah, because the software programs cater to that.
Yeah.
And so then I started calling a few members and asking a few people that I know that golf frequent if they felt like they would use it after I got really excited about it. And a lot of the locals here said no, that they wouldn't. So then I thought, well, golly, I don't want to waste money, but maybe in the future, as things do get more digital, or if it does get busier down there, they can guarantee themselves a tee time if it was there. Some of the members might actually use it. If they all have smartphones and they want to be guaranteed. I know we did have some members that were upset when they went down to the golf and they couldn't get a card, they couldn't do this, whatever. So
The only problem with that is if they want a time and they see who's ahead of them.
then they can see.
Like if they got somebody that's always in the rough ahead of them, they're gonna go, it's gonna take twice as long to go.
Yeah.
And some people don't let them go all through. So,
Right. Well, you can't win them all.
it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess if you guys have any questions for me, I've been learning a lot in the last week what the difference between a bogey and a birdie is, because I really needed to do my homework on everything. So if you guys have questions for me, I'm an open book and you guys hit me up anytime. But other than that, there's not anything that's crucial right now. I'm just doing a lot of investigating.
Thank you. I see we don't have our police or fire department on that? Is there? Other than
No,
the
our
fire meeting,
our candidate for that would replace Officer Jesperson has an NPI scheduled in Edina on the 14th, and that'll be our next step as a city to move forward with him after that's completed.
okay. Then we're on to the administrator's report.
So I have a couple things that are pretty boilerplate, and then the rest of it is all the contentious discussion that everybody's just waiting for tonight.
Watching back.
Yep, the first one is just a revised resolution on your appointments and designations map due to a couple of resignations on the planning commission. I also tightened up. What else did I do? I tightened up a couple of things, reworded some stuff for who was on the position. Some of them said other instead of council members, so I just used a couple of languages. But this way, that'll give the city the opportunity to, post notice for those two positions and have, advocately try to fill them because they meet every month, so it'd be best to have a quorum by next week, which I don't know is gonna happen. But the planning commission meets the third Wednesday of every month at 2 p.m. So it'd be nice to have those spaces filled. So this needs to be approved, please.
If you can just appoint people.
Are there people that are willing?
One,
It probably would be beneficial to your board if it was a formal. Yes, I'm interested, and yes, I'm yes. So I'm not like cold calling somebody and saying, oh yeah, by the way, you're on this board and I need you here at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you know that this person is interested in filling a
I am not
vacancy?
going to
Very good.
throw them under the bus right here, right now tonight, but
Certainly.
we do, if we're just appointing folks, then, I mean, is it the council needs to vote on each appointee?
Yes.
So we need two
So
planning.
at next month's meeting, if we had 2 people sitting here to plug in,
Mhm.
that would be the way to do it.
I would say yes.
Okay. We got a month.
Mhm. Luckily, what's come across my desk, I don't have any new business for the planning commission this month yet, but that doesn't mean anything can't come through in the next week and a half.
Right.
I mean,
That would be the plan.
no offense to your existing members. I mean, there's 3 of 5, there is a quorum there, but it'd be nice to fill the spaces as possible.
Yes, we agree. Well, then. Do you want to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve resolution 2022-01. Revised.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes.
Item B is the 2022 League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust Liability Waiver. This is a waiver form that's annually filed for the property and liability insurance coverage for the city, waiving the statutory tort limits for the city. In the past, this city has always waived the monetary limits. The cap is $2 million. We can't go below that.
Would you like this one worded, Christine?
Your motion should read, or should state to approve the 22 League of Minnesota Cities liability coverage waiver, waiving the monetary limits.
I would make the motion to approve the League of Minnesota Cities liability coverage waiver. Waiving the limits. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None? Approved. Next.
Item C for council consideration is to accept the bid recommendation between the city of Blackduck and TNT Construction for the project of the Public Works Public Safety Facility. In your packet, what I have provided to the council is a letter from your architect, Steve Rose from Woodstuff, that he's reviewed all the bids and the associated documents received from all bidders. The apparent low bid has been received from TNT Construction in the amount of $2,064,000, and his recommendation that the city accept this bid for the completion of the work. And all the subsequent documents are attached.
I have a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion to approve 2022-06 resolution.
That's not item
Oh,
D.
yeah.
We're on C, Don.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I just don't want you to make a motion you weren't prepared
Oh,
for.
I'm the wrong one, sorry.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid reconciliation with us for the TNT construction for the project for the public works safety facility.
I have a motion to approve the bid. Do I have a second?
Second.
Hey, is there any discussion on this?
Is this the hoity-toity said and done deal then right now going on? Motion to approve. That's the done deal. Okay. Oh, that's fine then. I'll let it ride.
If there's no further discussion, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? A vote of 3-1. Motion passes. On to the next one, Christina, resolution number 2022-06.
This resolution is determining the necessity to issue not to exceed $325,000 in general obligation equipment certificates for 2022. This will allow the city to bond for the additional funding to complete the project, if approved.
We have a motion to approve resolution.
Right. If
Go ahead.
are you still having that conference with the lumberyard and
That's with everybody. That's once this goes through, if it goes through, then that's when the contractor, the architect, city sit down and meet and go through that value engineering that we talked about.
that's okay?
Mhm.
All right,
Yep, still on.
that's still on. I'll make a resolution, resolution number 2022-06.
A motion to approve resolution number 2022-06. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Vote of 4. 0. Item E.
Item E, Max, is for council consideration, the application for federal assistance. This is the process of the bonding for the additional funding with the USDA. With that motion, you'll be approving the application for the federal assistance.
Good. And I will move to approve the application for federal assistance for the direct loan for additional funding for public works. Do I have a second? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on it? Motion. Just send it in. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed? None. Minnesota PFA annual certification.
So item F, Max, is a annual certification that is required by Public Facilities Authority from Minnesota. They are the funding resource for the water side of the 2018 infrastructure project that did all the service lines in the main, Summit and Main Street. You recall that project?
Yep.
Okay. By the state's requirements each year, the city needs to declare how much funding it has put aside in reserves each year. Those of you that have been on the finance committee know that we set aside a depreciation in our water and our sewer fund here. The certification that PFA requires is that we put away 50 cents per 1,000 gallons that we report to the state that we have sold of water. By their calculations for 2021, our depreciation should have been $11,078. The $10,000 we had budgeted for the 2021 budget was only $10,000. Added interest, we only depreciated $10,580. So we're coming up short by just shy of $500 for 2021's depreciation to meet the minimum requirements that PFA requests us to do so. So my request tonight is twofold. The first is to approve an additional depreciation from the water fund into the water sinking fund reserve fund of an additional $500 to meet that minimum requirement. But then in addition to that, to also revise the water budget, the water expenditure budget for 2022 to increase that depreciation to $12,000 instead of 10, so that we meet that minimum after 2022 is completed.
Okay, so we want to do this two motion.
It can be one as well, however you wish.
Rather just do two.
Very
So,
good. I will note it however you wish.
The first we'll do for the Efa certification requirement,
Okay,
the $500 from the water fund to
the water
sinking
sinking fund. Yep,
I will make that motion.
Okay.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right,
Aye. Opposed? None. That passes. Now to increase the what was it at?
the depreciation was budgeted for this year at $10,000. I'm recommending that the council consider increasing that to 12. That should cover,
Okay,
because our first year certification to PFA was the same dollar amount as you see on the reports I provided you for 21.
Yep.
The 2020 dollar amount was the same. So unless our gallons drastically increases in the next year, I don't foresee how we would not meet that requirement. The city can always depreciate more if it wishes, but this is what's budgeted.
so you want to make that motion, please?
so you want,
To increase our budget for the,
to increase the water expenditure fund?
The depreciation for 2022 to increase it from 10,000 to 12,000.
Yeah, to increase it $10,000, $12,000.
Yeah.
For 2022.
Correct.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, or excuse me, is there any discussion on that first? Company. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Opposed? None passes.
And then the rest of what I have down underneath the administrator's report is just a listing of the dates for repeated meetings. The development core meets this Wednesday at 11 a.m. here at City Hall. The next Chamber of Commerce meeting is at Restaurant 71 at noon on February 16th. The next Planning Commission meeting is also here at 2 p.m. on the 16th. The Blackduck Ambulance Board meeting will be on February 17th here at 9:30. The Blackduck Fire Protection Annual Meeting of the towns will be here on the 17th at 6 p.m. And the packet that is sent to the townships and the cities is included in your packet. February 21st is President's Day, and in observance of that, the city offices are closed. February 22nd would be the next recommended date for the council work session, which is a Tuesday, which is different than normal because of President's Day. That's the next meeting day after. So I hope that works for everybody on the board. And then the next regular council meeting will be March 7th. And unless anyone else has any detailed questions for me,
Okay, do we need to sum up your, the closed meeting?
Yes. I have it under 7.
Is there a written summary or is there a, this is just a verbal summary?
This is just a verbal summary and you have to,
Tiptoe my way around what we talked about. Yeah. Well, at the closed door meeting, we gave Christina her review. I felt like it went well. Very positive. Overall, she was given things. Any other review? Positives, negatives? Ask if there's anything that we could have done better. There is. Short of that, that's all you guys get to really find out about what we talked about. It's lips are sealed. Is that a fair enough summary?
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Does anybody have anything there to
No,
just,
I think that.
oh, gets it? Okay. Then someone wants to make a motion. Let Bobby Joe get back to bed. Motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.